Welcome in, everybody, to a special nighttime edition of Football 24/7 here on JAKIB Sports. Eagles make a couple more moves today after our Football 24/7 earlier today, where they signed Joshua Uche. Now they have signed veteran cornerback Adoree Jackson, former Giant. Some of you might remember him from 2023 when he had a pick six versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and tight end Harrison Bryant. Johnny Mac, how you doing in this Thursday evening, brother? Long work day. Here we are again. How you feeling this Thursday evening, brother?
Yeah, come on, Howie. Give me a break, dude. Give me a break.
Oh, John, your mic. I think your mic's disconnected. I hear you, but it's
Oh, it is.
It's. I mean, if you can't fix it, it's fine. Just a little hollow.
Let's see. Settings. Audio. Yeah, it's not on short.
All right, there we go.
There you go. There you go. Now Johnny Mass sounds crisp. There it is.
Little business.
Yeah, Johnny, just how you're feeling on this.
Don't know why that happens, but
that's all right. No worries. Just wanted to get your crisp audio for the segment for the people. But just your thoughts on this Thursday, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, like Adoree Jackson, that's a player the Eagles have long liked. People may remember they tried to sign him in 2021 when he was a free agent coming out of Tennessee. It was actually between the New York Giants and the Eagles, and the Giants had him in the building back when they took visits. You've seen a few people take visits, but now it's turned into just signings during the legal negotiation period. Adoree had two visits scheduled. He went to New York first, and he was scheduled to come to Philadelphia, and the Giants didn't let him out of the building. Signed for 3 years, I think $39 million at the time. This is a good player.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that deal.
He's going to turn 30. Yeah, he's going to turn 30 in mid-September, a little bit older than the Eagles have been going. Not sure where he is. When I said this is a good player, this has been a good player. Obviously, at this stage, he's only getting a 1-year deal. So there's, we're not talking about the same guy was in 2021 coming off his rookie contract with Tennessee. He was a first-round pick there, played well there, got the big deal. And now this is his third contract. But I like the Adoree Jackson move. This is, we talked about Darius Slay gets introduced in Pittsburgh today, losing a veteran. Presumably Slay got $10 million. I can't believe Adoree Jackson got that. So I think it's much less than that. I think this is a valuable signing. But you can see what Howie Roseman, he's going through the roster. Right. Two things I've said pretty consistently. They don't want to hand things to anyone. They don't want to coronate anybody. They don't want to coronate Will Shipley. That's why A.J. Dillon's here. They don't want to coronate Jalix Hunt. That's why Josh Uche's here. Harrison Bryant's about Grant Calcaterra and a bunch of guys. They don't want to coronate anybody. And then now you see Kaylee Ringo. Now here's Adoree Jackson. They don't want to coronate him. And plus the second part is you're also draft proofing the roster. So you don't feel the need to say, well, they have to go here. They have to go here. They have to go here. Doesn't preclude them from drafting positions, but you don't feel that pressure to say, well, we got to get a running back. We got to get a running back in day 3. We got to get a tight end in somewhere in day 3, whatever, if you haven't done it earlier in the process. Edge rusher obviously is a big need, and now cornerback. So you're accomplishing two things. You're giving competition to the young players you want to step up, and then you're draft proofing the roster. And you can see how he's going through it incrementally, 1-year deals. He can cut every one of these guys, and it wouldn't matter if things work out.
Yeah, right.
In different instances. So,
I mean, think about how many deals that we signed like this last year that didn't work out, and your team was still the #1 defense in football and won the Super Bowl. So that's what I love about right now. There's no reason to overreact about any of these deals. They're darts, and some of them will work out and some of them won't.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if you're gauging, I like Jackson best. I like then Uche, then the other two. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, Harrison
Oh,
Bryant. I mean, well, he's a blocker, right? I mean, he's here for blocking. Cheap blocking is basically how I
yeah,
view.
he's also, kind of like an old school H-back type more than, he's not that big. So
Yeah, I saw that they lined him up a little bit differently. Yeah.
yeah, he's more of a sort of hybrid fullback tight end. Um, and they have Ben Van Sumeren for the fullback role. So um, don't necessarily see the fit there. And we've talked about a lot about AJ Dillon this morning. Don't love the fit there. But again, these are 1-year deals. Essentially, if it doesn't work out, who cares? If it does work out, you're patting yourself on the back.
Yeah, you're essentially creating competition right now. Like you said, I like what you said about they don't want to coordinate anybody. They don't just want to elevate anybody. They want to make them earn it, work for it. And I think that's what makes players better. Competition breeds greatness. So I like that perspective. John, let's focus in on Adoree Jackson a little bit. When I saw this signing, now I did see a couple people saying, he's versatile. He's played a little bit of snaps in the slot. He's kind of moved all around that secondary, and he's been a pretty good player. When I saw the signing, I was thinking, well, that's your Isaiah Rodgers. Do you think that's fair to say or no?
I think he's a little more than that, but I at least the player in my head is more than that. But again, he's later in his career. Things move quickly in the NFL. He was this was a big time player.
Yeah, he was.
I don't want to overstate it, but I would say top 20 corner in the NFL. He signed a $40 million deal back in 20. Remember, $40 million in 2021 is
Right.
probably 55, 60 million now, the way the cap has went up.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit exaggerated, but you get the point. Yeah, I mean, reputation wise, production wise, demonstrated performance wise, yeah, much more accomplished,
Right.
I would
Makes
say,
sense.
than Isaiah Rodgers.
Yeah,
Now,
I was
does he
more
have
thinking in
anything
terms of the
left?
role,
That
like a swing corner.
I can't answer, but well, he's played outside a lot more. Like Isaiah's not a swing corner. He doesn't play inside. Everybody thinks he can play inside, but
No,
he
yeah, he
doesn't play
doesn't. Yeah, he
inside.
doesn't like to.
So from that standpoint, he's got more versatility. Yeah. Isaiah didn't play inside at all. So yeah, he's got more versatility, but he's mainly been an outside corner because he's good. And again, I don't know why people don't believe that, but if you're good, they're going to put you on the outside.
Yeah. John, I will
And
say
that's
this
why
about
it's
Adoree.
rare with Cooper and all that kind of stuff. We've talked
Yeah.
about that.
I will say what's interesting about Adoree. He's like ancient when you look at this
Yeah.
cornerback
So,
room. You got Cooper, you got Quinyon, you got Keely Ringo, and
well, yeah. And you
good. I think I'm on a
you need
delay.
some experience. So, yeah, you must be. I'm not. You're not on a delay for me. I must be on a delay for you. I don't know why I'm plugged in, but um, if you go back, I just pulled up his PFF rankings. 36 of 120 as a rookie, 27 of 112, 8 of 116. Then he was injured in 2020. 2021, 15 of 116, 31 of 118. Had a bad year in 2023, and then he bounced back and was 38 of 116 last year with a bad team. He's been a pretty good player. Like, this guy's way different than Harrison Bryant and even Josh Uche and AJ Dillon. This guy has been a big time corner in the NFL. Now, clearly, once you hit 30, and he's going to be 30 in September, he didn't play as much as he typically did last year, but he played over 400 snaps. And he played well in those 400 snaps. So will he be a good third corner? I don't see why not. But he also might be better than Kelee Ringo.
That was my next question. Does he have a chance to take over Kelee Ringo? I think he does. Maybe be that other cornerback across from Quinion Mitchell. I think it's possible. How's he fit, John, with Fangio in terms of that? Is he good in zone? I mean, I'm sure he's going to be playing a lot of zone, obviously, with Vic Fangio. How's he fit in terms of Fangio and the Fangio defense?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that deep into it, but he has never played in that style. I assume at his age and with all the football he's played, he can handle off coverage. He's probably the savviest cornerback the Eagles have the day he steps into the building. So I don't think that part of it's going to be a problem. The part is, how much does he have left? I mean, there are 31 other teams and everybody wants corners. So that concerns me a little bit. It's like, why is this guy still on the market? Why is he getting a 1-year deal? There's got to be something. And again, while we do these shows, you get my immediate reaction to this stuff. I've been on the phone talking to some people, but I haven't been able to get deep into it. It just happened. That's a red flag. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Isaiah Rodgers had a bigger market than him. Something must be going on there.
Yeah. So, and it might be just age, third contract, the natural, bad team. All of that factors into it. Didn't play a lot last year. So, they were trying to, play Banks a lot, who is talented but hasn't played well yet. I forget who their other corner was. Maybe I can find it, but yeah, a little bit of a concern that, because again, 3 years ago, he was getting $40 million. So what went on? Now, the Giants just signed Paulson Adebo, who I think is really good. Now, he got hurt last year. I think that's a good signing by the New York Giants. I don't often compliment the Giants, but I love that particular player. Banks, as I mentioned, did not play well. And let's see, I'm looking. Andrew Phillips, he played okay. So maybe that was the deal. Cordell Blott played more as well. So clearly the Giants thought he was on the downside. So that probably tells you something, because they're a bad football team. But we'll see. Lottery ticket, as you said, 1-year deal, draft proofing, don't want to coronate. But as I said, with all 4 of these signings, and I said it most notably about Shipley, because I get the fan base to me seems most excited about A.J. Dillon. Maybe it's just simply a skill position. I always talk about everybody wants skill position people. The Eagles want Will Shipley to be that guy.
Right.
But they don't want to coronate him. They want Kelee Ringo to be this guy. This doesn't change with the signing of Adoree Jackson, or the signing of A.J. Dillon, or the signing of Josh Uche. They still want Jalix Hunt. In their best world, Jalix Hunt would seize control of that job. But now you don't have to count on it.
Right. It's a little insurance. Right? Is that a fair word? Insurance?
Yeah. At least you have competency in case a young player doesn't develop like you think he's going to develop.
We'll see how it all shakes out. Adoree Jackson, for those who don't know, coming up on 30, as John mentioned, he'll be 30 in September. He's 5'11", 185. He's been 8 years in the NFL. So like I said, he's ancient compared to the corners we have in the room now. Got a bunch of youngsters in that cornerback room. Plays college ball at USC. He was a first-round draft pick in 2017 with the Tennessee Titans. So he's been a good player, and he's an interesting one. I'm with you, John. I think he's got at least upside. I'm curious to hear if you're able to learn any more about him, why he did fall here to a day 3 type of free agent, basically, or later day free agent. And it's probably a cheap deal. We'll see about that. Let's go to Harrison Bryant a little bit, John. Not much pop on this signing compared to Adoree Jackson, but overall, your thoughts on Harrison Bryant. Look, we have one guy in here, JD3 says, Harrison Bryant is my favorite signing so far. Now, I don't know why JD3 says that, but some people want to hear about Harrison Bryant, Johnny Mac.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I want to hear why he's his favorite signing. I mean, he's a decent blocker. He's undersized, though. He's more, as I said, more of an H-back type player. The Eagles don't have, if you're projecting them without Dallas Goedert, they don't have great blocking at the tight end position. Grant Calcaterra is obviously not a great blocker. E.J. Jenkins is a former college wide receiver trying to make the transition, so he's not a great blocker. Nick Muse, they signed, is a good blocker, or at least his reputation. Hasn't really played, but came in as, billed as a blocker more than a receiver. And then Cameron Latu's more of a receiver than a blocker. So if you're going to be a heavy run team, in theory, you want some blocking ability at tight end. And if it's not going to be Nick Muse, it's going to have to be Harrison Bryant. Or, hey, you can always keep Dallas Goedert.
I know. I'm with you on that.
But yeah, I'm not too excited about Harrison Bryant. If that commenter's still there, let's hear why are you excited about him. I'll ask him because, he was a backup. It's interesting because he was in Las Vegas last year and everybody's talking about Michael Mayer. And Bryant, was there. Mike Mayer was hurt a little bit. But Bryant played every game. He only had 13 catches, 9 starts, 13 catches, 6 yards per catch. So obviously he scored 3 touchdowns. So did some nice things in the red zone for a bad team. This is 2023, I should say, when he was in Cleveland. He didn't do anything really in Las Vegas.
Yeah, they also had a bunch of tight ends, though, didn't they?
Well, yeah, they had Brock Bowers. So Brock Bowers had an historic rookie season. Right. But if you go back to he was a rookie. His rookie contract was in Cleveland. He was a 4th round pick by the Browns out of Florida Atlantic. And he was okay as a rookie. You think, he started nine games, a lot of 12 personnel, 24 catches, 3 touchdowns. Then it was 21 catches, 3 touchdowns. Then it was 31 catches, 1 touchdown. Then all the way down to 13 catches, 3 touchdowns, and he was out, and he signed with Las Vegas. Not very explosive. This is a pure depth piece. I don't look at this guy as like you can see some upside with Jackson. You could see some upside with Uche. You could see some upside with even Dillon if he's healthy. I don't see much upside here. So I'm interested in that commenter.
A perennial tight end 3, right? Harrison Bryant. I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. I'll read you a couple of his comments. All right. So he says he's a good blocking tight end to complement Grant's pass catching. And then he says, I think he can be a good H-back and versatile in 12 personnel. I don't like the idea of Calcaterra lead blocking and blocking in 12 personnel. He is just a versatile player. JD3, appreciate it, man. Thank you for your comments. But there you go. That's why he likes Harrison Bryant.
Well, he is. He is an H-back. But remember what offense you're dealing with. There's no evidence that the Eagles are going to be the team using the Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that. Oh, you could. I assume we're going to talk about that all off season and manufacture touch guys, and this guy's going to do that, and this guy, and nobody learns. They don't do it. So you really think they're going to do that with Harrison Bryant? We're going to move Harrison Bryant around.
They didn't do it with Saquon Barkley. They're going to do it with Harrison.
No, I mean, I'm just being real. Look, this is a very simplistic offense. People get pissed off. It is. I don't know what to tell you. They don't do that. And they certainly ain't doing it with a role player. There's a lot of people with fullback and they're excited. Well, can you play A.J. Dillon at the same time as Saquon Barkley? How about no? They ain't doing that. Who are you taking off the field, by the way, if you're going to play 21 personnel? Who are you taking off the field? I gotta get Corey Dillon off the field. AJ, get off the field. Devontae, get off the field. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well stated, Johnny Mac. Johnny Mac.
We go through this every offseason.
I know we do.
It drives me nuts, as you know.
I don't think you're going to let me get into it this offseason. You're gonna give me a stop it before I even get into it. Johnny Mac, real quick, I'd feel a disservice if I didn't ask you. I mean, Kenyon Green spoke to you today, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson talking about chess with Jalen Hurts. How about that? But just any takeaways from talking to those two guys today? Anything you took away from those pressers you want to share with the people?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's going to be a big story. The big chess. They had the same chess advisor. Guy teaching
Jalen
them
really
chess.
is an old soul, isn't he?
A lot of guys. Saquon loves chess, so
I like
he's
chess.
got
Chess is a good game. I like chess.
Chess is. Yeah, I like chess too. I used to play chess all the time in high school, but I don't.
I can see you being really good at chess.
I'm not as good. No, I'm not. No, I was half decent back then, but I played a lot. Now I don't play. It's if you don't play, you're shit up a creek. But it's very difficult. So I mean, Saquon loves chess. Jalen likes chess. Just a competitive thing. Keeps your mind sharp. Dorian Thompson-Robinson seems like a very eclectic fellow. But, same thing. He's here in a different, for Tanner McKee. They want Tanner McKee to step up and be that backup quarterback. But if he's, they don't want to hand it to him. So they get a guy. They were very interested in the draft. That's another thing. You can see this theme. The Eagles were very interested in Kenyon Green in the draft. They had him on a top 30 visit. That was the Jordan Davis draft. He won 2 spots after Jordan Davis. Interestingly, so he was the 15th pick. The Eagles had the 15th pick and moved up to 13 with Houston. Houston moved down and took Kenyon Green with the Eagles' original pick. They liked Kenyon Green coming out. They almost signed Adoree Jackson in 2021, as I said. They liked Dorian Thompson-Robinson. They had him in for a top 30 visit. And were seriously considering picking him. The Eagles always go back to the guys they liked in the draft and try to do those things.
Yeah, that's why I find it interesting that we report on guys that they met with or top 30 visits or anybody they were interested in at signing that they missed out on. I love keeping those names in the chamber because sometimes they come back and sometimes they end up on the Eagles later on. So always good to keep your eye on team players that the Eagles bring in or show any interest in, whether they end up on the team or not. Johnny Mac, great stuff. What's next, man, for Howie Roseman? What's he looking at next? I think he's going to continue to build out the bottom of this roster with low risk signings like he has done so far. What's next for Howie? He's addressed the corner. He's addressed the edge, addressed tight end, kind of the 3 spots that we talked about needing more depth and running.
Yeah, they'll probably bring in a linebacker. They might bring in a defensive tackle. Again, you're draft proofing the roster as well. So, you know, which the Eagles always do basically every year. So that's what these 1-year deals are about. The only thing is they skipped the splashed up and went straight to the 1-year deals. And that's because of the trying to correct a little bit the cash outlay that they've done over the past number of years, and get ready, as we talked about, for Cam Jurgens, Jalen Carter, Reed Blankenship, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Down the road, Quinyon Cooper, et cetera.
Yeah. Johnny Mac, still no update on Mekhi Becton, huh? Or Dallas Goedert. We're waiting patiently. I don't think we're going to get – I saw the thing with Dallas. Looks like that probably won't be addressed till way later in the offseason. Is that – or maybe an extension could get done now. But if you're going to, like, trade them, they probably wouldn't trade them till post-June 1, right?
Yep. You lose about $9.5 million of cap space if you trade them now. And the Eagles can't afford to do that. Well, they could, but you can do, but you have to manipulate other things. You can always do, honestly, whatever you want to do, but you probably have to make a couple other corrections in other spots. So you don't want to do it. But yeah, the easiest way would be to work out a short-term compromise, so to speak. But we'll see if Dallas that takes two. And as I said, this is probably the last opportunity for Dallas to make big money, big guaranteed money. So he probably wants to explore all of those avenues before coming back and agreeing to something like that.
Johnny Mac, good stuff. Still nothing on Becton. We're waiting.
No, I mean, I don't know how many times I said it. I don't know if it resonated, but he was a tough one to predict because he's got some significant knee issues and he doesn't like to talk about it. Anytime anybody asks him about it, he gets a little bit testy, but everybody knows about it. And I'm sure other teams know about it. So, you've seen a couple late big signings. There was a big signing on the offensive line today. Tevin Jenkins got some significant money. So, but you're seeing it trickle down to basically just 1-year deals slowly. And for the Eagles, it's been all 1-year deals. But even around the rest of the league, it's about 80, 90% 1-year deals at this point. He's just not going to get big money, it looks like. And that's good for the Eagles. But even if he gets 1 year, $10 million, that's probably out of the Eagles' range of where they want to go.
Yeah, they're probably trying to keep it under 10. We'll see. We'll see. Johnny Mac, good stuff, man. Appreciate you checking in. A little rare form late work day, Johnny Mac, tonight. I like it. John, your final thoughts here on these couple signings, and then we'll catch you in the morning on Birds 365 with a bunch of intel, I'm sure.
Yeah, Howie said, be patient, and he's going to get some things. So I'm surprised people aren't a little bit more. It always surprises me, I guess. I got a lot of negative Adoree Jackson stuff right away, and I got positive AJ Dillon stuff. We got positive Harrison Brown. You guys always surprise me. I'll say
New York. I would say New York Giants and 2023.
Maybe that's it. I didn't. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Yeah.
All right, Johnny Mac. Thank you, brother. I'll catch you later. All right, man. We'll catch you in the morning on Birds 365.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. See you, man. There's Johnny Mac checking in. Johnny Mac's a little rare form than I loved it, man. You could tell a long work day here. So good stuff, everybody. We broke down Adoree Jackson. John likes the most of anybody we've signed so far. Harrison Bryant is I don't even know what you want to call him, tight end 3. Probably not much you're going to get out of him, but JD3, I do appreciate I do appreciate your comments. JD3 says, if J-Mac comes at me like that again, I'm going to turn into Brian Pumper. JD3, I thought your comments were good. Johnny Mac shredded you. He put you in a paper blender. Holy moly. Johnny Mac was in a little bit of rare form tonight, wasn't he? Taking shot. I don't know why we were on a delay, by the way. Both of our internets were fine. I don't know what was going on on there. And audio issue on John's end, and then we were on a little bit of a delay, which made the conversation not flow as smooth. But we apologize for that. I tried to get you guys the information as best I could, almost to shut up and let John talk a little bit. But appreciate all you guys being here. A good day today. Look, I try and tell people there's no reason to overreact one way or the other about these signings. Like, I had one dude who's like, you're glazing every Eagles move. I'm like, dude, they're $1 million players. They're $1 million players. There's no risk. There's no risk involved in any of these signings. Who cares if Harrison Bryant is nothing? Who cares if Adoree Jackson doesn't pan out? Who cares if A.J. Dillon doesn't do anything? Like, this is not – if you sign an $18 million edge rusher and you don't think he can be good, okay, let's talk about it. It's $1 million signing. You're throwing darts. We signed Devin White last year. How many $1 million guys did we sign last year that didn't pan out or didn't do anything? You know, come on. Like, we can relax. They're building out the bottom of the roster. They're going to show up to training camp with 70-plus bodies. They need to fill out not just 53. They need to fill out all 80, 90 bodies, because they originally have like 90-plus. Then they cut it down to 71. Then they cut it down to 53. Like, we got to get a lot of bodies in the room. Remember, something I think the Eagles have started to do is they look at Georgia, they look at Alabama, they look at the way these schools operate. Obviously, the pros are different than college, but what makes those programs so great? They have competition day in and day out at practice. The hardest days that those players have are versus their teammates, not the team they play on Saturdays. In the Eagles' case, they're bringing competition. They want guys to earn it. They want guys to fight for jobs, to earn jobs, to work for it, to play versus guys who are good on the other side of them. This is good. Adoree Jackson can only help Keely Ringo get better. If you don't line them up with any competition, they're not going to get better. You know, complacency sets in. So I like what the Eagles are doing. I like the approach. Relax. You know, there's a good chance a lot of these guys might not be on our team. All right, that's what happened last year. All the way up to September 1st last year, we thought Devin White was going to be the starting linebacker. And Nakobe Dean, we didn't even think about Zach Barnes. So, like, relax, yo. These guys are, it's all good. There's no reason to overreact about signings right now. Obviously, they got some roster things to do to get in order. Howie's produced 3 Super Bowl teams in 8 years, 2 in the last 3 years, and a Super Bowl champion and 2 Super Bowl champions in the last 8. So, like, relax. Pump the brakes. Let Howie work a little bit. Be patient, all right? I think the Super Bowl winning GM has earned some patience from the fan base. No reason to be too high or too low. Too high or too low. Just stay in the middle on it. See who works out. You know, analyze it objectively. And, you know, I think we did get some guys who can play. I really do like a couple of them. I like Adoree Jackson the best. I think he's a pretty solid pickup. You know, the one guy I kind of also like is I like Kenyon Green a little bit more than most. I know he was really bad in Houston, but I was looking back, and I remember him from at college. He played ball at Texas A&M back when they were in the SEC. I don't think Texas A&M is in the SEC anymore. But you know, he was super good in college, and he had a lot of good traits that I think Jeff Stalin, if he can help him out a little bit, if he can coach him up a little bit, I think he's a salvageable player. I don't think he's Andre Dillard. You know, I think he's salvageable. So we'll see what they do there. But interesting trades here. I will take a couple of your guys' comments on these trades. Appreciate everybody checking in, by the way. Right now, I will take a couple of your comments and get your final thoughts here on one. What do you think the next move the Eagles should make is? And how you feeling about the secondary now, right? The secondary's got some, you know, I think Adoree Jackson's a little better than a dart. I think he's a little better than a dart. I think he's going to be a guy on this team, and we will see. Maybe he has a chance to be the starter. I mean, Keely Ringo is not guaranteed. Adoree Jackson does have pedigree, all right? He does have pedigree. Look at Cobra back in here crying. Oh, Cobra. Cobra, you need to change your name to Garden Snake. You need to change your name to Garden Snake, all right? Cobra, you ain't no Cobra. That's reserved for Shelby's and a badass snake. Garden Snake Cobra. Look at Cobra. Jenna, you're the last one to be talking about relaxing. You're the biggest crybaby of them all. Garden Snake checks in. All right, Garden Snake. Yo, Garden Snake, do me a favor. Enjoy the show, all right? because you keep showing up. You keep chirping, but you keep showing up. You know, there's a lot of videos to watch on YouTube. I'm a YouTube watcher too. All right. I know what it's like. You open it up on your iPad. There's about 50 choices immediately. You go on your computer. There's 50 choices. You scroll on your phone. There's thousands of choices. Why do you keep clicking on JAKIB? Huh? Garden Snake? Come on, Garden Snake. Red Pill, what's up, man? You're new. Appreciate you checking it out. All right. Subscribe to the channel. We cover the Eagles all day, every day. Appreciate all you guys checking in. All right. Exactly, Crowley. Love me or hate me, it's a great show. You guys love it. Jimmy Wham, what's up, my man? Eagle Nest, what's up? What are you guys thinking about the secondary now moving forward? And then what's the next move you want to see Howie make? John mentioned, maybe boosting up the linebacker position. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. So we'll see what they do there. But appreciate all you guys, by the way. I'll read a couple of comments. I want to get you guys' responses. JD3 again. What's up, JD3? JD3 might be the chatter of the day. Guys like Kenyon Green can work if they have the right mentality coming in under stout. Becton had the right personality, willing to learn. That's a great point, JD3. Great point. You got to be willingness to learn is a big thing, right? It's a big thing. Dev checks in. What's up, Dev? Xander, they definitely want Ringo to start. Jackson is a quality back. Dev, you're 100% right that they want Ringo to start. Does that mean that he will start? No, he's got to earn it. He's got to earn it. And the Eagles are obviously optimistic. They want him to win that job. Same thing with Steen last year, right? They wanted Steen to win the job, but they weren't going to stick to their ways and die on that sword, right? They brought in competition. Ultimately, the competition won, and it was better for the team. All right? It was better for the team. Appreciate the comment, though, Dev. I think you're right. I think you're correct. Philly 500 has a good take. He thinks Jackson could be moved to safety. Maybe. He's a really fast dude, and he's older now. So maybe that type of career arc could work. You talk about, people have done that before in the past. I could see that. I wouldn't project it, but I could see it. All right. I could see it. Ian, what's up, brother? They're all insurance policies, just like Becton, Uzama, White. This is what Howie does. Exactly. Ian East, you're making a lot of sense, brother. You're making a lot of sense. Yeah, Prince, I'm with you, man. That's one of the themes I was picking up on as well. They got a lot of speed, man. All right. They got a lot of speed. Like even the edge rusher they signed today, Josh Uche, he's fast, man. He's fast on the edge. So I think that helps out. Lewis Seen's out there. We'll see what they do with him, Prince, but I'm not really sure. What happened to Garden Snake? Did he leave? Oh, Garden Snake. I didn't scare you off, did I? You pesky Garden Snakes. You're easy to scare off. Brian Pumper checks in. Speaking of the devil, move his hot ass, Xander. Why does Brian? I'll tell you what. There's one thing I love about Brian Pumper, man. He has an ability to say something so basic and make it sound hilarious. Hot ass with two Z's. Hot ass. Hot ass, Xander. All right, Pump. We'll see what happens, dog. We'll see what happens. Charlie, what's up, Charlie? Nice F1 Red Bull sweatshirt. Did not know you were an F1 fan. So am I. Hey, what about Hamilton going to Ferrari? I like F1, man. Charlie, I became a fan. I haven't been a long-time fan. I became a fan. I had the opportunity. Somebody in our business gifted us tickets to the F1 event in Miami. I want to say that was either 21 or 22. I think it was the first or second year in Miami. Let me check. 22. So May of 22. And I went to the F1 in my unbelievable. Neil, great comment follow-up. Unbelievable live. It really is. It's insane live. M-Ray says it's for finesse dudes. M-Ray says it's really not. I love cars. You guys know that. So I'm most fascinated by what the cars are insane. And it used to be cooler when they had V10s and V12s and stuff, but they don't have that anymore, So, no, it's a really cool sport. And I like Verstappen. I'm a big Verstappen fan. I like the mentality. I like his mindset. He doesn't give a shit. I like that. All right. I like that. But yeah, I appreciate it. And how about Hamilton going to Ferrari? Charlie, let me just say this. I'm not the biggest Lewis Hamilton fan. Okay. I like Verstappen. So I'm not the biggest Lewis Hamilton fan. All right. But no, I do like Red Bull. Red Bull's got some cool stuff too. Good coverage. I wish it was a little better in the States, but it's not. Fly Eagles Fanatic says Mopar or no car. I got a Mopar. I got a Ram truck. So I guess that's not really Mopar, but Sasha, good to see you back, brother. Sasha says, Zander, do you do a giveaway for the dumbest question of the day? I qualified for that this morning. No, you didn't, Sasha. I thought your question was fine. Honestly, not everybody knows every rule to the NFL. I mean, look, come on. Not everybody, look, you have work, you have life, whatever you have going on. That's all right. You didn't know everything. And I thought your point was, well, if it's lingering with Goddard, like, why wouldn't we just lock him up and kind of kick it down the road? I knew what you were getting at, Sasha. Now, you know, where you were wrong is that you can't franchise tag him and he's already under contract. So I got you, but I'm not giving you the worst comment of the day for that. I thought it was fine. And you sent $10 with it. All right, Sasha. So you're all good to me, bro. All good to me. All right. Yeah, dude, 99% of us can't drive an F1 car. I could. I'll tell you that. All right. I tell you what. Flyers Fanatic Dodge Charger Daytona. Ooh, nice. You got a 392. I like it, bro. See, Cody B is more my speed, though. See, I like Mopar and the trucks. Now, I will say I do like the Chargers. Now, they got rid of those, but I wish they kept them around. Now, I'm a Mustang guy, though, Flagel Fanatic. I know you're not going to like that. I'm a Mustang guy. I love Mustangs. I love GT500s. I love Shelbys, GT350. I was this close to buying a GT350R. Would not have been a good financial decision at that point in my life. So, ultimately, I didn't do it. But no, I'm a Mustang guy I like everything. I like cars. Like, I got a book back there. I got to see that stack of books. There's a Corvette book. There's a American Muscle book. There's Dodge, Mopar, Mustang, you name it. I got it all, man. I got it all. Porsche, I like it all. I like all cars, man. I can't stand Mustang. That's typically how it is. Mopar people don't like Mustangs, but I like it all. I'm not like that. I'm not as territorial with it. What move would you like the Eagles to make? What move would you like the Eagles to make next, Zander Prince? I went a little silly on that, didn't I, man? I couldn't read it, but what move would you like the Eagles to make next? I don't know. They're just going to keep recouping, I think, like they are right now. It's hard to guess, like, you know, guessing bottom of the roster guys like this or just depth piece signings. But, you know, next, probably go Johnny, probably go linebacker, just because they filled most of their other holes. You still have you don't have much linebacker depth right now. So I could see that. I don't know, Curtis. I'm not loving the Simmons stuff as much as our others are. I'm not, you know. I'm with Ian. It's about the draft now, man. They got a bunch of draft picks. Their philosophy has been draft good players, develop great players, and let them make plays. It's one of the reasons we won the Super Bowl. And I think they're going to go have that same approach this year, especially in a moment when you're trying to crunch the cap a little bit, right? So I could see that. You know, I think it's about the draft right now. But anyway, I appreciate all you guys checking in. Went a little bit longer than I wanted to tonight, but that's all right. I love kicking around with the great people. Any other moves? Let me double check, make sure that, you know, what seems to be happening is every time I get off the air, another move drops. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I would have just stayed on the air. But no, it's all right. Oh, Jake Rosenberg did join on that. So I gotta see if he'll join our show. Jake Rosenberg. I think he would. But good stuff. Appreciate all you guys checking in. Hit that like button for me. Appreciate it. We'll see what ends up happening next for the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll be live again at 8 a.m. on Birds 365. National Football Show tomorrow, 2 to 6 p.m. Couple of signings today. Adoree Jackson, got Harrison Bryant, and you got Josh Uche. And then last night you had A.J. Dillon. So now you got 4 pieces that were brought in. Obviously, you traded for Kenyon Green, and you traded for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So you got those guys, and you signed Ben Van Sumeren back. So you're looking at some acquisitions here. I think the Eagles are doing a fine job building at the bottom of the roster. Again, nothing to be overly concerned on, nothing to be super excited about yet. We'll see what they end up doing, but this season is about the young guys getting better, right? Taking on a bigger role, being better players. Sidney Brown, Keely Ringo, even the guys who played. Nolan Smith, got to be better. Jalen Carter, got to continue to get better. Jordan Davis, got to get better. Jacoby Dean, got to take a step forward. Zach Bond, got to be better. All of them. They have to continue to improve and evolve and grow together. And that's part of it. You know, that's part of it in the NFL. You don't just always sign new talent, right? I mean, your talent has to develop, and that's part of what makes you a great football team. So appreciate all you guys checking in tonight. Great shows as always today. A lot of fun. Is it just me, or is every day on JAKIB fun? Why is every day so fun here on JAKIB? I think it's you guys. I don't think it's Johnny Mac. I love Johnny Mac. I don't think it's him. Might be Cilio. He's pretty funny. I don't view myself as a super funny guy. Maybe it's you guys. I think it's you guys that might be the reason every day is so damn fun on JAKIB Sports. All right. So appreciate all you guys for helping us. We've had a really good offseason so far. 24/7 live stream until the end of free agency. Neil, I would do it. Don't tempt me, Neil. I would do it. All right. Neil, eventually we have to do that, man. Eventually we have to do a 24-hour show. Right? I think so. You know, that's like one of those things. I saw those streamers doing that. What's the one streamer? He did like a month straight. What's that guy's name? Kai. I think it was Kai. It might have been Kai Kennat, whatever his name is. Was it him or one of the other dudes? I think he did a month straight. I would do that. Right? I would do that, man. That'd be fun. All right. Appreciate all you guys. See you next time, everybody, on JAKIB Sports. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Drop your comments down below. Love all you guys. See you next time.